project was actually started by Dr. Park through the Medical Educators Institute through ASH, and the premise of the project was to pair trainees who are interested in classical hematology with experts within that field outside of their institution. And now that you kind of have that background and motivation, I think it's kind of important to talk about what has been going on in the field of classical hematology thus far. And I think one of the big concerns is that there's a projected decline in the classical hematology workforce, in that there's a concern that there won't be enough classical hematologists in the future, as not as many people are applying into this field. In the future, and a lot of these patients need specialized care for their very complex conditions. And so there have been studies before this project that have shown that, or tried to kind of establish why this might be the case, and to see what the factors kind of influence trainees who do pursue classical hematology, so that those factors can be like harnessed and used to kind of develop more interest and more trainees applying into this field. And so one of the studies, and I think there are actually a couple, that have shown that mentorship is a really important factor, if not sometimes the most important factor, that influences trainees who end up pursuing this field in classical hematology. So kind of going back to the main motivation for the study and the premise of the study and the project, we were really trying to increase that mentorship within classical hematology, to not only provide the resources for trainees who are interested in the field, but also kind of help promote further career development and retention in the field on a larger scale.
I think mentorship is really vital to fostering any type of academic career, and so that's why we focused on providing mentorship to a group of trainees that really needed it.
A couple of things that I think really stood out for me from when we were writing this and looking through our data is that one, all the mentees and the mentors in the program, or most of them, really highly rated their mentorship pair, whether it's their mentor or their mentee. I think that kind of establishes that deliberate pairing of these mentees and mentors is important to try to foster a good working relationship between mentoring pairs. And I think the other things that stood out for me were that we had a significant influence on whether these mentees thought that they perceived their mentoring pair as effective and a good experience, with their perceived impact on career development, as well as professional development. So kind of linking having a good effective mentorship can kind of translate into these benefits of having a good impact on trainee career development. And then we had a lot of mentees, through their work in the program with their assigned mentor, have numerous earning numerous academic accomplishments, whether it's awards, poster presentations, oral presentations, publications, through their work with their assigned mentor, kind of showing that they were able to be academically productive, which is often an important thing that trainees are looking for in their mentoring relationship. After the program was over and kind of seeing where people were after their fellowship, we had I want to say it was 23 mentees who participated in the program end up taking academic positions within or classical hematology positions, which was really impressive, and I think kind of goes back to one of our initial goals of trying to help increase retention in classical hematology. So I think those were the main things that I found really interesting about the study, and I think impactful.